Good morning guys, and welcome to my new vlog. If you're looking for a perfectly aesthetic video with flawless routine and cinematic editing, then probably it's not a video for you. But stay with me if you have a long to-do list, if you've been procrastinating a little bit and you just need someone to keep you company while you are working on your goals. Put me on in the background, grab yourself a coffee or another drink, choose one thing that you want to accomplish today, and let's get shit done together. My name is Katrin, I'm a front-end developer living in Germany. I do vlogs and tech content on my another channel. Today is Friday, which means that I want to finish as many things as possible so that I can actually enjoy the weekend. If you watched my previous vlogs, then you know that I'm a disciplined person, that I have a specific routine I usually try to follow. But today, the day started not according to plan. I wanted to wake up early and go for a walk before work, but I woke up with almost no energy. And instead of forcing myself into it and feeling guilty, I just decided to shorten my morning routine and start working a little bit later. Because sometimes listening to your body is much more productive than trying to force it into something. Also, beating yourself up for that has absolutely no point. Not every day is going to be perfect. This week has been also one of the busiest weeks for a long time. I've been working 9 or even 10-hour days lately, barely leaving my desk because we have so much going on right now at work. And on top of that, I stayed up late yesterday because I needed to work on my YouTube video. Normally a new video comes out every Friday, but today is probably not going to be the case because I didn't finish this week's upload, so it will probably be coming tomorrow instead. So it means that I also have a bunch of work to do after my working hours. And to be honest, this isn't how I imagined this week. My partner is visiting his family right now, so I'm going to be on my own for almost 10 days. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for quiet evenings, relaxing, and finally working on all those personal projects that I usually don't have time for. And instead, work completely took over. But on the other hand, I'm also glad that it happened this week, and I would prefer to be rather insanely busy when he's away than when he is back and we would need to cancel our plans. So that's the mindset for today. Even when things don't go according to plan, we are not going to waste energy getting frustrated about it. We are going to make the best of the day, get as much done as we can, and then enjoy the evening. So I'm planning today to have a delicious food, to watch a good movie, and if I manage to finish everything that I planned, I will reward myself tomorrow with a trip to the cinema. So let's start working. Hello guys again, so I'm having my lunch break, and lately instead of watching Netflix or videos, which was part of my language learning routine, I started reading the book that unfortunately I usually don't have time in the evening anymore. So I finished this Tokyo Girls Club. I mentioned this book in one of my previous vlogs, and I also mentioned that I have it's a German version, and I also have an English version which I still didn't finish. And to be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure that this book left me learning something. I think it's just about sometimes difficult relationships, about people who find it also difficult to build relationships with other people. But I think here is probably one lesson that I would take with me. And so eventually it talks a lot about friendships between women. I am the person that also believes that that friendships between women exist, and I have wonderful girlfriends, and I think that's the proof for that. And even when you burn yourself with some difficult people who betray you or break your trust or something like that, I don't think you need to put it on if it is a woman or a man. It is usually depends on the personality of the person. Because of such situations, you definitely shouldn't say, okay, that's it, all women are bad or bitchy or something like that. No. I think that there are people, good people, kind people, who deserve your friendships, and you need just to wait to find them, because eventually, also what I understood, it happens that you need to meet, for example, 10 people, and one of them is going to become your friend, but the 9 of them probably, or you are not going to have the same vibes, or they are not good people for you, something like that. So, and that's totally normal, and you need to understand that. So that's one thing. And another thing is that I think all the problems and all the insecurities that are described in this book that the main characters have, I think it comes just from being afraid to go out of your comfort zone and to explore your personality, your character, to understand who you are, and to try to change it if you don't like it, to improve yourself, to develop yourself. If you stagnate, if you just stay in the same place for the whole of your life with the same people, you never move out of your parents' house, you never, for example, change jobs, cities, whatever, social circles, then you just get stagnated, you get stuck. And eventually all the problems that you see after many years, it is just because you were afraid to change something and you put the fault on other people. Yeah, I think that's the message that I am going to take from this book. It's always no one's fault that something is wrong with your life or when you are not satisfied with it. We need to remind ourselves that actually we have more control than we think. If we don't like something, maybe it's time to think, to reflect, and to understand what actually we can do by ourselves in order to change the situation. So yeah, I can say that it's in my favorite books list, but it was a good read. And also I think it's nice to read the authors that are not, for example, the same type that you kind of used to read. So yeah, in that case I would recommend to try this one. Good evening, guys. So I finished my work. I finished working at around 7:30 p.m. Because it was just like I could continue, to be honest, but to be honest, I have now tasks that are dependent on other people, and of course if they are not working, then it doesn't make sense to continue. But yes, I still think that it was a very productive day at work. And now I spend so much time, like I went to do some groceries, and then I spend so much time just choosing the movie or what to watch. I hate this part, to be honest, because I never can decide. I don't watch movies a lot, and that's why when I choose to do it, I want to watch something meaningful for me, something mostly about strong women, because such movies really give me also a big motivation. But I think I will watch Lucky. It's a new series with the actress who played Queen Gambit, and it's also made by the company of Reese Witherspoon, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be very nice. There are only 2 series right now, but yeah, I will just watch it then instead of whole movie. And yeah, now I'm going to have dinner, and then I think about getting a warm bath, and after that, if I find energy, and I think I will just work a little bit again, like more on my video. Hopefully it will be ready for tomorrow. If not, then I will need to do it also tomorrow. And yeah, I really hope that I will also be able to come a little bit earlier tomorrow in order to go for a walk, because those days I'm just sitting a lot and it's not good for your health. So yeah, I hope you also finished some of your tasks. Let me know in the comments how was it, and yeah, join me for a relaxed evening.